I used to think love could survive anything. Distance, arguments, even time. But I was wrong. Sometimes it's not one big betrayal that breaks you. It's the quiet, smiling kind. The kind that wears perfume and laughs too easily at another man's joke while you're standing right there. It started on a Thursday night. I remember because Thursday was our unwind night. No work talk, no phones, just us. But that evening, Claire wanted to meet some of her colleagues from the marketing firm for a casual drink. "Come with me," she'd said, leaning against the kitchen counter in that black blouse she knew made her look irresistible. "You'll finally get to meet the people I keep telling you about." I said yes because I trusted her. The bar was one of those trendy rooftop places. Soft lighting, too much laughter, and music just loud enough to make real conversation a challenge. Claire looked radiant under the warm glow, her blonde hair catching the light like spun gold. She had that easy confidence, the kind that drew people in effortlessly. And she was in her element. Smiling, laughing, tossing her hair back in ways I hadn't seen in months. For a while, I just watched her from across the table, proud that this woman was mine. But then he showed up. Charismatic. The kind of guy who looked like he was born with charm dripping from his grin. He slid into the conversation like he'd always been there. Claire lit up when she saw him. "Oh my God, Mason. You made it," she said, jumping up to hug him. It wasn't a long hug, but it wasn't brief either. Too familiar. Too warm. I felt a small, sharp twist in my chest. He was new, apparently. A consultant who'd been working with her department. They immediately fell into an easy rhythm of banter, teasing each other about office jokes I didn't understand. Every so often, she'd place her hand on his arm while laughing, or lean in close when he spoke. At first, I told myself it was harmless. Claire had always been friendly, animated. That's one of the things I'd fallen in love with. How alive she was around people. But then she caught my gaze and gave me a quick smile, like a silent reassurance, before turning back to him. And something in that smile felt off, like it wasn't meant for me anymore. Later, when the night started to wind down, Mason offered to buy her one last drink. She hesitated, glanced at me and said lightly, "Oh, come on, it's just flirting, relax." Just flirting. She said it with a laugh that made the group chuckle, but it hit me like a knife. It wasn't just what she said, it was how she said it. Like my discomfort was amusing. I didn't say much after that. I sipped my drink and watched the way her eyes lingered on him when she thought I wasn't looking. Watched her fingers brush his when he handed her the drink. Watched her tuck her hair behind her ear, nervous but excited like she used to do on our early dates. Then, when everyone started gathering their things, Mason pulled out his phone and said something that made her laugh again. And I saw it. Her hand reaching for his phone. Her lips moving as she dictated her number. Her smile lingering. My heart dropped. It was one of those moments where the world seems to slow down, but inside you, everything starts falling apart at once. I wanted to believe I misread it, that it was for work or a project or something innocent. But deep down I knew. She wasn't giving him her work number. She was giving him hers. We didn't talk on the ride home. She hummed softly to the radio, like nothing had happened. Like she hadn't just handed someone else an open door to what used to be ours. When we got inside, she kicked off her heels and said casually, "That was fun, right?" I just stared at her. "You gave him your number." He paused, then shrugged. "Yeah. He might help me with a client pitch next week." "You gave him your personal number, Claire." "So what?" Her tone shifted, defensive, sharp. "It's not a big deal, Michael. You're being dramatic." "Dramatic?" I stepped closer, lowering my voice. "You called it flirting, Claire. Do you flirt with every guy who buys you a drink?" Her eyes narrowed. "You're twisting things. It's harmless. God, can't you just trust me?" Trust. That word felt like a cruel joke. I wanted to trust her. I had trusted her, with everything. But something had cracked open tonight, something ugly and raw. That night I couldn't sleep. Every time I closed my eyes I saw them, her leaning close, her smile, her voice saying, "It's just flirting." I reached for her once, out of habit, but she had already turned her back to me. The next few days were strange. She acted normal, cheerful even. But I noticed her checking her phone more often, smiling at messages she didn't explain. I didn't want to become that guy, the suspicious husband, so I bit my tongue. Until one night, when she left her phone on the counter as she showered, and it buzzed. Mason. Asterisk, still thinking about that drink. Maybe without the coworkers next time. Winky face asterisk. The world stopped moving. I didn't touch the phone. I didn't need to. The message alone was enough to tell me everything. When she came out of the shower, wrapped in a towel, she looked startled to see me standing there. I asked quietly, "Do you want to tell me what's going on?" Her face paled. "What do you mean?" "Mason just texted you." Her hand froze mid-reach. Then she sighed. "Michael, it's nothing, okay? He's just being flirty." I don't respond. "But you gave him a reason to think it's okay," I said. "You opened that door. I like feeling noticed, okay?" Her voice cracked. "You've been so distant lately. Everything's about work, bills, responsibilities. I just wanted to feel. Wanted again." I stared at her, the words lodging in my chest. "So your solution was to flirt with another man?" Tears welled in her eyes. "I didn't mean for it to go that far. I just needed a little attention. I missed feeling like I mattered." "You matter," I said, voice trembling. "You always mattered. I just didn't realize I was competing for your attention." The next few weeks were cold. We didn't fight, but we didn't connect either. Everything felt fragile, like one wrong word could shatter us for good. She swore nothing physical happened, that it was all harmless. I wanted to believe her. God, I wanted to so badly. But trust doesn't heal with promises. It bleeds out slowly, no matter how much you try to hold it in. Then one night, I saw her on the balcony, phone in hand, smiling softly into the screen. She looked beautiful, and heart-wrenchingly distant. I stepped out quietly and said, "Still just flirting?" He turned startled. The look on her face told me everything before she even spoke. I didn't yell. I didn't cry. I just said, "I hope he gives you the attention you were missing." Her eyes filled with tears. "Michael, please." But I walked inside, packed a bag and left. It's been 6 months now. I still think about her sometimes. How she used to laugh, how her hand fit perfectly in mine. But then I remember the look on her face that night on the balcony. The mix of guilt and longing. The realization that she'd traded something sacred for something fleeting. People say betrayal destroys love. But that's not quite true. It doesn't destroy it, it just changes it. Warps it into something unrecognizable. I don't hate Claire. I just don't know who she is anymore. Maybe that's the real heartbreak. Not losing someone, but realizing they were already gone long before you left.